Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? What's going on out there in the internet world? I hope you are doing something that is bringing you some peace, love, joy, and happiness. Look, this is February 11th, 2026. My name is Mark. Thank you for stopping by. Let's get right into it. Yo, I mean it when I say that I want you to do something that's going to bring you some peace, love, joy, and happiness. And part of that is a healing process and dealing with issues that may be going on in your life now. Maybe you had a good childhood and you don't have a lot of childhood problems. That hasn't been my experience in dealing with people. Um, I do believe that healing is a choice and it's going to take a lot of work. Um, Now, with that said, I want to encourage you to journal and be honest in that journal. Um, I go back to when I started to journal, and I spent a lot of time on journaling about family matters, family issues. And when I first started, I wanted to protect names using the words like my sibling, my youngest sibling, the boy next to me, or my oldest sibling, or this sister. But I wouldn't attach names to it. And I had gotten, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 pages in. And look, I got confused because I was trying to protect. I was still trying to defend, still making excuses. But after I processed what I was doing, now look, I want to, this is disclaimer. This is for adults, not children, or if you're adults with sensitive ears, there's going to be times that I may use some foul language, and this is one of them. And I was like, fuck this in my mind. Maybe I even moved my lips, but I said, fuck this. I tore those pages out, ripped them up, or shredded them in the shredder. And I started being honest. And, I went back to saying, my name is Mark, and my mother's name and her husband, which would be my stepdad, and they both are deceased now. But then I started my freedom because it was about me being free. It was no longer about them. Um, so so much came to light. There was such an awakening that I had a lot of misplaced anger in a form of speaking and placing blame where there was no blame. But I went on my journey to heal, and that was a choice because I had reached a point in my life that my happiness, my peace, my serenity was more important than my family or the people that were around me. So I started my journey. And so now when people meet me, they meet the real me. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm just an open book and I'm going out there telling all of my business and stuff. That's not what I'm talking about because there again, I still have to guard my heart. I want you to guard your heart, protect your heart. Everyone should not have access to you. Uh, and they definitely should not have access to your heart. Uh, Depending on your age, depending on your belief in your upbringing, we was taught unconditional love. Bullshit. Fuck that. I don't believe there is a such thing as unconditional love in the life that we live. I'm not talking about if you believe that there's life after this. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the life that we're living right now. Um, as I said in the other video, everything has an expiration date. Even if that means, a friend, a family member, if they pass away, that is that expiration date. I have an expiration date on my life. I don't know when it is. Don't want to know, but I definitely want to enjoy ever how many more days that I have left. So, with that said, there are a lot of avenues out there that you can take. Now, my forum was Dr. YouTube. Uh, I started unlearning this recipe that was given to me uh, and started creating my own recipe. We all at birth are given this platform, recipe, or program to live by. Well, that's what religion does. If you go into a church, most of them will hand you a program. They're probably about the size of this uh, envelope here, but they're folded, and when you open it up, it gives a list of what's getting ready to happen in a timely manner. And we try to operate our lives like that. Well, life doesn't work like that. Life has got a lot of ups and the downs, the curves. Um, has a lot of good times. But I want to encourage you. Again, I'm talking from experience now, not something that I've been told. Um, in talking to people, it is not the adult that is hurting, it's the little boy or the little girl in them that has never healed from their childhood trauma. So, with that said, I want you to go back and heal that little boy, that little girl. And then I think what you would realize is not the adult that is hurting, because the adult can make those decisions that no more. But that child did not have a choice in what happened to that child, whether it was verbal abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. A child just did not have a choice, because a child is powerless. And really, the people that harms a child, they really bullies. And a lot of times, people that abuse a child, they're not going to mess with an adult, because they want that. They want that power. So, go back, and even if you write a letter to your younger self, go back and have the conversation with the younger self. And I know it may sound cheesy, but it works. It works. And that's where, if you want something different, then you got to do something different. I can't do it to work for you. I just can't. You are the same as me. I got to a point, and it's taken years. Please don't get me wrong, because the biggest thing, well, two biggest things, because even in my 20s, I hurt so bad when it came to trying to build a relationship with my family. They just wasn't having it for different reasons. I was part of the problem. They was the part of the problem. Some of the shit that was said was true. Some of it was not. All of you know how that goes if you got any age on your ass whatsoever. So I my journey's been long, but it's been worth it. I've told people, even when I was doing my work, I can't think of one person that I would change my life with, because I'm living my best life now. I'm living it without permission. People that know me now, I mean, if you just want to fucking make me go from 0 to 60, if I tell you something that I'm doing, don't ask me why. Don't ask a grown ass person why. Because if I make the wrong decision, I'm going to have to suffer the consequences. Um, Set the boundaries. Get away from the shit that is hurting you. You know, hurt can be a repeat thing. Understand there's a difference between hurt and being disappointed. Buddhist teaching is everyone is going to hurt you eventually. I question that. I know what the teaching is. I sort of reframed that to fit my situation, my scenarios. I say everyone is going to disappoint you at some point in time. If I'm in your life long enough, I'm going to disappoint you. But for the most part, if you remain in my life, you'll find that I'm going to try my best to do the right thing by you. Am I going to get it 100%? No. But in part of the growth, it's stop accepting apologies without change. People will apologize and then turn right around and do the same thing that they've done and hurt you. And if you've ever been hurt in the heart, you know that pain. You know it all too well. Uh, I think we've all have experienced that. Again, if you have any age on you, question: are you hurting from what just happened, or are you seeing a replay of what happened to that little boy or that little girl? Again, I go back and I say there's many avenues. I use Dr. YouTube. There's books out there that you can read. Um, Join a fitness center. If you can't afford to join a fitness center, go for a walk, go for a jog, connect with the universe, connect with nature. Uh, Take the earbuds out and just hear the sounds that is going on around you. Um, Notice how peaceful, depending on, if you go out during a thunderstorm now, you're going to hear the trees bending, but they're going to stand back up most of the time. Um, but start connecting with where we came, and that is from the earth. Uh, there are some things, even though I left Christianity, there are still some things that I believe because the body decays. So we're not made of steel. So I do believe once we return back to from which we came, and we don't have to die to connect with nature. Um, Nature is pretty much pure, and it's going to give you the purity. It's going to give you the realness of. So if you can't afford to go to a fitness center, a walk is free. So again, there's many avenues. If you can afford counseling, go to counseling. But it does not really have to be a long, drawn out process. If you want to heal, you can heal. I assure you of that. Now, will that ever go away? No. The memory of what happened is not going anywhere. So now, as you heal, learn to commingle with it. I'm not saying we have to be best friends, but it's not going anywhere. It's forever a part of your life. That history is not going to be erased. You can't rewrite that. So that was, again, part of my process from the sexual abuse. I can't pray it away. I can't wash it away. But what I did learn is not make excuses for the person, but show them the grace. Now, forgiveness came, and I didn't even realize when it came, because when I saw that person again, which had been many, 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 many years, honestly, I didn't even recognize who the person was. Um, and when they, like, do you know who I am? No. So, um, yeah, that's when the situation, because now I have healed from that. So now, as a man, you can't do this anymore. You can't just say and do and touch me any way that you feel. Not that that happened. I want to make clear of that. So, but the healing had taken place, and it took place after before I saw them again. So therefore, that there wasn't a conflict. Now, I didn't give them a pass. I gave myself the freedom that I deserve. Now, I could have confronted the person and reopened all of those wounds, or I can wish them well in their life. What is it Whitney Houston said? Above all, I wish you love. So even to that, now that's where my freedom comes from. The hurt is gone now. Now, I don't know how they sleep at night. It's none of my business. I sleep very well. So in my process in unlearning and finding a new avenue that worked for me was, again, started listening to different speakers as they told their story. Matter of fact, this morning before I had my shower, I was listening to this 91-year-old lady. And she described how she was just a tool. Her husband had passed 2 or 3 kids. And now she don't hear from them. she realized that she was a tool. And when they do call, it was a schedule every Sunday night, 7 o'clock. It wasn't anything, okay, I need to call to check on mom and see how mom is doing. No, it wasn't, it was a scheduled thing. Um, that goes back to earlier in the conversation, that unconditional love. Unconditional love, if you believe in it, it is not a scheduled thing. Is that when you cross my mind to reach out to you. Um, when you love someone, it's not if you have time to communicate with them, you make time, because everyone has time to do what they want to do. Now, that's just being honest and pretty much straightforward. So I connected with her because not from a place of anger or hurt anymore. And it made me go back and reflect on the nieces, the nephews, the siblings of, especially when I was younger, getting up at night and, constantly and doing and got so little in return. And randomly now, yeah, they will call. Now, if I call them, they'll answer. If I need something, there's two or three of them. They're going to be there. But it's a process of being honest and stop making excuses and take advantage of the resources that are at your disposal. A book, YouTube. Uh, Now, YouTube is the only platform that I use right now. I don't have the Instagram, uh, TikTok, or any of those other platforms, whatever they may be. This worked for me. And I just could, I walked a lot. I had a lot to let go of and release it to the universe, God. Um, I held on to my faith. Uh, but I had to be honest with this man that I called God, that I looked up to. This, the man that was given to me. I didn't throw him away. Was I angry at him? I don't know. I was honest with him about my feelings, and I think that's where the healing really, really, really begun. Is being honest with this God that I was taught to fear. But there again, the first person I started listening to that wasn't a minister was Lance Brown. And he told his story of how he survived cancer. And he told, how he bought a house for his mom and didn't do a deed search. And there was a lien on it. I mean, so much stuff. As I started changing and unlearning, I found a lot of avenues that resonated with me. Um, Again, reading, when people would write their story about walking into their truth. So when you start walking into your truth and you find that courage to find your voice, that's where the serenity prayer may come in. And it ends with change the things that you can, and accept the things that you cannot, and the wisdom to know the difference. And one thing you cannot change, and that is people. And people are constantly showing us who they are. We as people are constantly trying to change people. Um, I'm old enough now. Oh, I have dealt with hundreds, thousands of people. And as I was going through my process, and I would tell certain people the story, and I kept hearing the same thing over and over, because we are programmed. That's that recipe. That's that program that we had been given. So we keep ourselves within this narrow box. And I forgot who it was I was listening to, but they said something about, surrender. Now, in the faith that I grew up in, we're supposed to surrender to Jesus, and then from Jesus to God, but you got to surrender. But this speaker was talking about surrender, and I stopped, took my phone off my side, and I stopped and I asked the universe a question. What am I surrendering to? Now, with my whole being, what I felt is surrender to life. Stop trying to make life happen and allow it to happen. And sure enough, it's been my experience as it unfolds. I have a peace and a serenity that I'm going to protect. And that's part of protecting my heart. Um, I hold some things and some people dear to my heart. But right now, I'm not seriously seeing anyone. So therefore, I haven't given anyone my heart. So now that I'm healed, uh, I know my trigger points, so even at my age, because I haven't totally given up. I'm not looking, but there's a gentleman, I think he's in his 90s now, because went back to a fitness center. This has been a few years ago now. And he's like, guess what I got for Christmas? And I was like, what did you do, or what did you get for Christmas? He's like, I got married. At that time, he was 88. So, never write anything off, and never count anyone out. Uh, I, I can look at myself. People can and people do change, but it's not my job to keep trying to change, and especially adults. So I'm going to leave you on this note. Take what is at hand that you need for your healing, whatever revenue that may take on your behalf, because the resources are out there now. With this social media, with the internet, you can. I mean, now you can get counseling sitting at home. The doctor will call you up and talk to you. Um, Learn to love yourself. Learn to appreciate yourself. Whitney Houston has a song, of course, the greatest love of all. But I don't know if it's the name of it or not, but one moment in time that I'm more than I ever thought I could be. I've had many of those moments, but I had to recognize that. I had to stop depending on people to give me that a boy. Oh, you're doing good. No, I've had a lot of moments in time. Matter of fact, now I've been hurt, disappointed, let down, but my good times has highly, highly outrate my bad times. So now take advantage of the sources that you have. And I'm sure once I stop, I'll be, oh, I should have said this. I should have said this. But you can heal. Healing is a choice. Learn to protect yourself. Learn to enjoy the good times. Deal with yesterday. It is forever with you. It's part of your history. Learn to commingle with it. Go back and heal that little boy, that little girl. Don't go there and live. Go there that little boy, that little girl can heal. And now the adult can live. Till next time, my name is Mark. I'm wishing you peace, love, joy, and happiness, and thank you for your time.